Hello friends, welcome in this video. Today we will learn subject and predicate. Before I start with the examples, let me make some points clear. In a sentence, the part which we name is called subject. The part which we name can be a place, can be a thing, can be a person, can be a feeling, can be an action, can be an emotion, can be a quality. It can be also a pronoun. So in a sentence, the part which we name is subject, is the subject. It can be a person, it can be a place, it can be a thing, quality, action, emotion, feeling, and it can be a pronoun also. So you can see that the part which we name in a sentence is the subject, and the part which says something about the subject is predicate. Predicate is also a verb. It means assert or declare that something is so. Assert or declare is the meaning of predicate. So now you can understand that the predicate declares or asserts something about the subject. So now it is very clear that in a sentence, the part which says something or predicates is called the predicate. The part which says something about the subject is the predicate, and the part which we name is the subject. So I think you have got these points clearly. One more point. The subject can come almost usually in the beginning, but sometimes it can come after the predicate. And this happens in poems. Okay? And at that time, it is a type of figure of speech which is called inversion or inversion. So the subject almost usually comes in the beginning, but sometimes it can come after the predicate. And the last point I want to tell before we begin with the examples is the subject can be one word or many words, and similarly, the predicate can be one word or many words. But the predicate must have verb. Must have verb. Without verb, the part which has got other words can't be called predicate, because a verb only can say something about the subject. So now we begin with the examples. Look here. Flowers bloom. We have named flowers. So flowers is subject. Flowers is subject. And about the subject, this word bloom says something. So this is predicate. So now you can see that a subject is the part which we name, and predicate is the part which says something about the subject. So flowers subject, bloom predicate. Here subject is one word and predicate is also one word. Here Monica is the part which we name. It's a person. So Monica is subject. Monica is subject. Lives here says something about the subject. So it is predicate. But give attention to this word. It is verb. Without this part, you can't call it predicate. So the main word in a predicate is the verb. It can be a single word and it can come along with other words, but the verb must be there. So you can see Monica, subject, lives here, predicate. Monica, subject is one word, predicate is two words. He, subject. Here the subject is a pronoun. Can swim far, predicate. So you can see here the subject is one word and predicate is many words or three words if you want exactly. Our house, subject. So subject here has two words. Has two doors. This part tells something about the subject. So this is predicate. And there goes the next sentence. There is the subject and are only a few boys is the predicate. Now there works here as an impersonal pronoun. It begins the sentence. It begins the sentence. Here it is working as a subject. But if you look here, there goes the bus. There goes the last bus. So here also the word there is used. But this there is used to emphasize the action. So in this sentence, there goes is predicate. And the last bus is subject. Try to remember the difference between this and this. There, here is a subject or is the subject. But here, there is used to emphasis, to give emphasis on the action. That's why here it becomes a part of the predicate. And the last bus is the subject. So I repeat once again, when there refers to no verb or it doesn't emphasis on the action, then it is subject. When there is used to emphasis on the action, then it becomes a part of the predicate. So here it is a part of the predicate. So now you can understand that here in all these examples, subject has come in the beginning. But now look at the next example here. Up and up goes. This part says something about this part. So the part we name is subject. The balloon is subject. Up and up goes is predicate. So here you can see the predicate has come in the beginning and after that the subject has come. So usually the subject comes in the beginning, but sometimes it can come after the predicate, Look at this example. On the top of the hill sat. This all part is predicate and an eagle is subject. Here also you can see the predicate has come in the beginning and then subject has come. Here, no one is subject. Care for the old woman. Care for the old woman is the predicate. And now give a little more attention. Easier said than done. In this sentence, actually the subject and the verb both are understood. Look here. The actual sentence should be like this. It is easier said than done. It means it is the subject and from is, this all part is predicate. It is subject and is easier said than done is predicate. So this is a little unusual example, okay? And look at these two sentences. They are imperative sentences. Look at us, don't panic. When they give you imperative sentences, in imperative sentences, the subject you, Y-O-U, is always understood. It is understood in the situation. For example, when I say look at us, means you look at us. The subject, you, is understood here. And look at us is the predicate. Like that, don't panic. It means you is the subject in this sentence and don't panic is the predicate. So in imperative sentences, the subject is Y-O-U, you, and the remaining part is predicate. Now we have just seen the difference between this sentence and this sentence. Let's go to the next sentence. Early in the morning, the farmer goes to the field. You have to give a little more attention here, careful attention. Why? Because the farmer is the part which we name. Farmer is a person. This is subject. And goes to the field. This part is predicate. And at the same time, early in the morning says something about the subject. So this part is also predicate. It means the whole predicate reads like this. Goes to the field early in the morning. The predicate is goes to the field early in the morning. Subject is the farmer. So you can see that the subject has come in between two parts and the two parts are predicate. So let us move to the last example. It in subject, rained the whole night is predicate. Here it refers to nothing. It is impersonal pronoun. It is impersonal subject. So here also there is impersonal pronoun or impersonal subject. So I think that you have understood this part, subject and predicate. Don't forget the points I explained about the subject. So before we end this video, I repeat, the part in a sentence, the part which we name is the subject. It can be a person, it can be a thing, it can be emotion, feeling, action, and it can be also a pronoun. So the part which we name in a sentence is subject, and the part which we say something about the subject, or the part which we use to say something about the subject, is the predicate. Or in other words, you can say the part which says something about the subject is the predicate. So I think this is enough for today's video. I hope you have understood how to identify the subject and predicate in a sentence, and I think you have enjoyed this video. Okay, if you have got any suggestions to make, you can just go to our channel and in the comment box you can write your suggestions. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So now I take leave and say goodbye. Thank you. Take care.